What's up guys, I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and today I'm going to be covering a new project that I've recently found very interesting. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so the project I'm covering today is HOKK. And this is actually based off of a project that exploded last cycle. So a lot of you guys probably saw this play last cycle. It ran up to almost an $800 million market cap. This was back in May of 2021. So this is a project upon a time that had a huge amount of hype. And now a lot of the same team members have launched this project again. And it actually just launched on August 22nd. So it's about 3 days old at this point. And full transparency, I actually posted a buy alert for this in my Discord yesterday at a $1 million market cap. So there is a lot of my Discord that probably holds this project if that matters to you. At this point, they're already up over a 2x. But as you can see right here, this chart has been doing very well over the last few days. It pulled back a little bit on the first day, however, it's pretty much just been pumping ever since. And if you come over here and you take a look at their X account, they're doing everything the right way. You can see that this is still a very small project. They only have 577 followers. But if you come down here, they're very active on here, which is awesome. And what I also think you guys should check out is they've been doing X Spaces recently. For example, they just did another X Spaces 14 hours ago. I highly recommend checking out these X Spaces. They are very well connected. If you guys are familiar with a lot of names in the crypto space, you'll recognize a lot of people in this X Spaces. Not necessarily just the speakers, but a lot of the listeners. And definitely the previous X Spaces before this. But even more than just the X Spaces, they're getting called by some nice KOLs as well. They got this call right here, August 24th, and this person has 113,000 followers. So yeah, I definitely recommend keeping your eyes on this project. I just want to be crystal clear. As always, nothing is guaranteed in this space. At the end of the day, this is still a very high risk project. It's a brand new meme coin. And as a lot of you guys know, my style is traditionally to wait for a project to actually build up a community. Obviously, I don't like chasing massive projects, but I mean at least to establish something. So this isn't usually my style to cover a project that's only 3 days old. But what I've been seeing on X, what I've been seeing in Telegram, it makes me bullish. The team seems to be very well put together and they have a lot of connections. Now, I do also want to take a quick look at the market in general. So you'll notice right now that Bitcoin and Ethereum have actually dropped a little bit over the last day. Bitcoin's down 2.8% in the last day and it's down 3.2% in the last week. Ethereum's down about 2.9% in the last day, but it's actually up 7% in the last week. And this shows you that Ethereum is finally starting to outperform Bitcoin. And yesterday, Ethereum finally broke all-time highs. There was a lot of speculation as to whether or not Ethereum actually broke all-time highs about 2 days ago. But now it has officially broke all-time highs. It reached 4,953. And you can see even CoinMarketCap is saying that it broke all-time highs 19 hours ago. So naturally, this is going to be very bullish for altcoins. I will say, if you come over and you look at the Ethereum chart, you could still argue that this is a macro double top. I do like to see that Ethereum broke all-time highs and that this is actually the highest close that Ethereum has ever had. But I think just to be safe, it would obviously be very nice to see Ethereum break that 5K level. Because again, right now you could absolutely argue that this is still a double top, even though it was a slightly higher close. But you definitely can't complain with Ethereum breaking all-time highs. Now just make sure you understand though how profit rotation actually works. Right now, if you just look at CoinMarketCap, you'll notice that Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance are very high. Bitcoin dominance is 57.4%, Ethereum dominance is 14.5%. That is taking up over 71% of the market. That is a huge percentage. If you come over and you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, you'll notice that this bear flag is actually playing out perfectly. You guys know I've had this bear flag drawn for weeks at this point, even before we had the 200-day retest. And I've been saying that this has a measured move all the way down here to about 57%. And in theory, the lower that Bitcoin dominance drops, the better for altcoins. But again, you have to understand how profit rotation works. I want you to think about it from a whale's perspective. If you were a whale who was invested in Ethereum, why would you get out of this chart right now? Ethereum has pretty much just been ripping since April. There's no need for you to rotate out of Ethereum until that starts to change. But once it does start to change, that is when it could get very fun for the Ethereum ecosystem and really just altcoins in general. And the reason I want to point that out is because a lot of people are starting to lose conviction in their plays, just because a lot of plays out there aren't really moving. For the most part, if you guys aren't invested in Bitcoin or Ethereum, you wouldn't even know that the market was breaking out. That's how little a lot of the ecosystem is moving. But obviously, if you guys have gotten into HOKK recently, that's not the case. This project has been doing very well. And I also want to be clear with this project. If you guys are interested in this, I don't just recommend chasing a chart like this. Could it rip from here? Absolutely. But there is also a chance that it does pull back from here. And again, regardless of how well this is doing in the short term, there's absolutely a chance that we do see a larger pullback. And there are no guarantees for this long term. I'm just showing you guys that this is on my radar right now. and I did post a buy alert for it at a $1 million market cap. But if you guys are interested in getting into projects super early like HOKK, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord as well. We've been making huge gains in here this entire cycle. Some of these plays you could have turned $1,000 into over $200,000. And if you look at the crypto gain section, my community's been printing in here almost every day. In fact, I just had a community member that hit a 30x on Slippy. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. It'd be awesome to have you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments if there are any other projects that you want me to cover. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.